My spooky brothers and sisters, we are exactly 8 days away from the best holiday of the year. And so, in preparation for that, and I know everybody's gonna be out and having a good old time, and of course, some of the best part of the festivities is trick or treating. So, for my people that's gonna be out there trick or treating, here is your trick or treating 101 to show y'all how y'all should get down to have a very successful Halloween this year. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, when it comes to trick or treating, which is something that everybody loves, here's a 101 for how you can go about having a very successful one. Everybody loves trick or treating. Like growing up, I mean, wasn't nothing better than, getting with the squad and y'all getting your candy on and, you coming out with a banging costume, the whole nine. So first, we're going to talk about one of the most important elements to a successful trick or treating, which is the costume. Having a good costume is pretty much make or break for pretty much your entire experience while you're trick-or-treating on Halloween. Now, when it comes to your costume, you want to make sure that, you out there dressed to impress, you really got that drip on. Like, you don't want to go out there trick-or-treating and just look regular. Everybody wants to get compliments on their costume. So one of the most important elements to that costume is the creativity aspect of it. So when you think about it, like, you don't want to go out there and you have, just your generic little costume or whatever that you got from Walmart or wherever, where it's just like, okay, this year I am a clown, or this year I am a duck, or this year, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really want to think outside the box for what your costume is going to be. And this applies to more than just trick-or-treating. It applies to, you going to a Halloween party or all of this good stuff. Like, I remember back in the day as a kid, that scream mask that had the little blood that would flow through it, like that thing went platinum. Like, everybody had that. So that is an example of, like, a mask that would be a banger for the costume. So like I said, you really want to think outside of the box. So you want to think about, okay, who are some of your favorite characters in horror, or just characters amongst all of the type of content that you watch. You want to think about, ones that somebody else wouldn't necessarily do. And then once you establish, what you want to be, then you have to go about, okay, how am I gonna make myself look like this person? So really, if you sit down and take the time and effort to make your costume look the way it's supposed to be and don't cheap out on it. So making sure you got the hair right. If it requires any form of makeup, like if you end up being Dracula or something like that, making sure that you got, make sure you got the blood, the fangs, the hair, the cape, make sure it's, right and tight. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go out there just looking raggedy. And it's not the case where you have to get one of those costumes that are already put together. Like, if you got it from Party City or freaking Spirit Halloween or something like that, you don't have to just rock what they have. You can create pretty much the whole thing from scratch. But if you're going to incorporate some of those costumes, which, it is a little easier, okay, then just go the extra mile to make yourself stand out, to make your costume really look like, okay, this guy got that shit on. Next, so once you got your costume set, now it's time for you to actually go out and start trick-or-treating. And so once you're ready to go trick-or-treating, here comes some general safety essentials. So with that, trick-or-treating, you always either want to go with an adult if you're, a younger kid, or you want to go with a group of friends. Going with a group of friends is really like a peak experience. You're all wearing, fire costumes, and y'all look dope, and then y'all all around just experiencing the whole thing together. Like, there's nothing like it, honestly, whatsoever. So always have your group. Secondly, check your candy. You want to make sure that there ain't no razor blades in it like it's Halloween 2, or any type of poison, or just making sure that your candy wasn't manipulated in any type of way, because the last thing you want to do is eat a Snickers and that thing had Fent in it. Like, so regardless, yeah, make sure you always check your candy. That is most important. And then 3, stay out the middle of the street. Like, there is absolutely no reason for you to stay in the middle of the street just waiting to be roadkill. Like, there's absolutely no reason for you to do that. So always make sure that you are, for the most part, on a sidewalk, or if you're crossing, then cross the street and get your ass to the other sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of your safety essentials. So continuing on with the trick-or-treating night, when you get to somebody's door, you will either want to ring the doorbell or you want to knock a couple times. You do not want it to be the case where you beating down somebody's damn door, or if you ringing the doorbell mad times like you some Karen. That's gonna ruin your night, because I promise you, the person that comes to that door is gonna be ready to about smack the shit out of you. It'd probably be wise for you to not do that. So make sure you don't act like Roach from next Friday.
Knock.
You want me knock?
Knock. Acting like a little bitch right now, man. I gotta hear that the music's playing.
Excuse me, partner, that was a fucking ghetto knock I just did.
So you had to knock on the door.
What
dog.
dude? Stop. Motherfucker, listen, you better stop. They gonna think we the police in there.
Gets results. The fuck do you want?
Came to buy some sugar.
Once you actually receive your candy, go ahead and say thank you. Even if that stingy bitch only gave you like 2 pieces of candy, you better be grateful because you could have had none. And even if it's butterscotch, or even if it's, you know, Werther's Originals, your grandma's favorite candy, it don't matter. Say thank you and keep it pushing, because you're going to find some better candy somewhere else later anyway. So if you end up not eating that candy, you'll be all right because you ain't pay for it. And speaking of your candy, another thing that I forgot to mention is the bucket that you put the candy in. You know what I'm saying? The bucket isn't as important to the whole grand scheme of things as your costume is and things of that nature. But you want to have a halfway decent bucket, and you don't want to have a little small ass bucket, or because if your neighborhood or wherever you're going trick-or-treating is relatively big, then that little thing, if you have a little tiny little bucket, that thing is going to fill up like it's nothing. So make sure you have a relatively decent size bucket and you'll be in the game. And don't be walking around with no damn pillow sack like this 1930s. Like, this shit is not flying, so y'all can go ahead and let that go. Get a little normal bucket from Walmart and you'll be in the game. Now, another thing to note when you're going to people's houses, if you see that somebody's porch light is off and you see all the rest of the lights of the house are off, don't waste your time going up to that house, because I promise you, you ain't getting nothing out of that. Anybody who is actually going to give you some candy will at least have their porch light on. And here's a little tip from your boy Tech. The houses that typically are decorated the most for Halloween and have all the little Halloween props and skeletons and, you know, ghostly figures and stuff like that outside of their house, those are the ones where you're really gonna get some banger candy. So those are the ones that you probably want to hit off as early as possible, because, you know, as the night progresses, the less candy they're gonna have. So you want to make sure you want to hit those off first, and those are going to be your best houses for the best candy. So after you've already been trick-or-treating for an hour or two, or you know what I'm saying, y'all all enjoying y'all time, and you happen to check your phone or your watch and you see that it's damn near about 10 o'clock, don't go knocking on nobody else's door. Like, I promise you, Halloween is about over at that point. Everybody at that point is dang near ready to go to sleep. So don't be knocking on nobody's door at no 10 o'clock. Trick-or-treating, for the most part, depending on how dark it is gonna run from about, you know, 8 p.m. or maybe 7:45 at the earliest. Nobody really trying to go trick-or-treating while it's broad daylight, because what's the point? Like, that mess up the whole atmosphere and the vibes of everything. So yeah, about that 8 to 10 point is about perfect. But once you hit about 10, nah, it's about wraps for you, bud. And so boom, after you've enjoyed your night, you know, it's 10 o'clock and you got all your candy, this, that, and the other, go ahead, lay out your candy. Once again, check it and make sure your candy's all good and there ain't no BS with your candy or nothing like that. And just enjoy. And just a little bonus to this whole trick-or-treating 101, also want to talk about some of the best candies that you can get from a house. So my personal opinion, some of the best candies that you can get off rip are Skittles. Are a banger. That's always going to be good. You can't ever go wrong with Skittles. It's grapefruit candy. Hershey's chocolate, and also can't beat it. Reese's, amazing. Like, Reese's is my favorite of chocolate candy. Kit Kats, there's Nerds, there's Jolly Ranchers, there's Warheads, and of course there are Tootsie Pops. Now I know a lot of people from the TikTok were trying to jump on me talking about like Tootsie Pops are trash or something like that. While they're not the best candy, them things are still gonna get 8. I promise you. Like, those things are halfway decent, and I like Tootsie Rolls just in general. So just a little fruit pop on top of that, like, you really can't beat it, honestly. Smarties are always a banger, no matter which way they try to do it. Like, if they do the more flavored one as opposed to the original kind, it's still good to me. I love Smarties, and honestly, that's some of the best candies. Now, some of the worst candies, butterscotch is gonna be on there. Like, I like butterscotch, but if we're receiving that for Halloween, like, what are you doing? Anything Three Musketeers, garbage. Almond Joy, garbage. Milky Way, garbage. Those mint chocolate candies, garbage. Butterfinger, garbage. And honestly, just a bunch of, like, you know, generic candy that, we all know, them candies that you can get from Dollar Tree sometimes, that the bag may make it seem like there's a whole bunch of flavor in there, and then you taste it and it's bland as hell. Yeah, so basically any candies that kind of fall under that umbrella, for sure, those are definitely not a hit. But that's all I got for y'all, Spooky Gang. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think of this Halloween trick-or-treating 101. Just was trying to lay everything out for y'all for for my audience members, for the most part, that's under 15, because you know, I know there's some adult circles for, you know, trick-or-treating and everything, but for the most part, ain't no adult going no damn trick-or-treating like that unless they, you know, walking with their kids or whatnot. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think of this 101, and y'all also comment down below what are some of your favorite Halloween candies, and what do you think are some of the worst Halloween candies as well. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1K subs. We'll probably hit 1K subs within the next month. You definitely want to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, and y'all already know I'll get with y'all next time. So until then, y'all stay blessed and y'all stay spooky.